The first story that we're going to talk about today is something of a tragic story for...
It normally is a tragic story, but this one actually is kind of uplifting, although now that all the backlash is coming, it's not uplifting at all.
Well, for those in America, I know that for reasons I've yet to ascertain, we have listeners outside of the United States. Hell, I don't even understand why we have listeners in the United States.
Yeah, admittedly, yeah.
Here in America, we have a little holiday we like to call Thanksgiving, and I know that other countries also have a Thanksgiving holiday, but ours is to celebrate the rape and pillage of the native lands. And so, every year the president gives an address, and President Obama's Thanksgiving address did not, Cecil, thank the Almighty.
It didn't. I think this is particularly egregious because if people are unfamiliar with the Thanksgiving holiday in the Americas, here's what happened. God came down with his musket and he shot the first turkey, and you need to thank God for shooting the turkey and for giving all the Indians smallpox. I think that's the things that we need to be thankful for in this country, and Obama sort of missed his cue, Tom.
I love that God has a musket. He not only needs a weapon, but he's limited to the weapons of that time.
He has one of those hats with the buckles on it too.
What he just hit him with lightning because it cooks it at the same time, right?
And God also showed the colonists what maize was, and so that's why. Why does God have to even be involved in this holiday? I can understand getting mad if he's like giving a fucking Easter address, but he's not even involved in this holiday.
Right? It's giving thanks. Like I do Thanksgiving. It's my favorite fucking holiday because it's not a religious holiday. It's a secular holiday. The Pilgrims were over there. They're all like, man, I'm hungry. And we'd like a food. And then the Indians were like, we have a food. Let's eat it
Which
together.
never even happened.
Like, that's like the myth.
It never even happened, but it doesn't matter because it's fun.
I know. But that's the myth that you're sold. But even the myth that you're sold as a kid about the very first Thanksgiving did not involve God. It was not a religious
They were leaving,
holiday.
if you're going to believe that myth, they were actually leaving for religious freedom, right? They were leaving the UK or at that time Great Britain or whatever. I don't know what the fuck the difference is. But anyway, they were leaving one of those names of that country to come over here for religious freedom because they were being oppressed over there. They couldn't express their religion how they wanted to. So if you believe that myth anyway, then they came over here for that reason. And when you are having religious freedom, the lowest common denominator of religious freedom is atheism because there is no God, right? Like that's the lowest common denominator. So you've got to at least be secular when you give your address, I think.
Sure. Well, you're going to leave. Should you include all the gods?
Right. They didn't talk about Allah.
That's crazy. This is more of this sort of right-wing religious pandering that suggests that we have to keep God in America. Well, which God? Well, our God, because the other gods suck. You know, I mean,
sure. Thor is fucked. You don't want to talk about Thor anymore.
Zeus is never included in Thanksgiving
at this point. Yeah, you don't want to talk about Zeus.
And plus, did you read the speech that he gave or listen to it? It's so innocuous. He's basically saying we should be thankful for the things that we have and try to help each other to overcome challenges. I know it's a difficult time. I mean, when the president has to say I would like it if we were nice to each other to help one another through difficult times, and that is a fucking controversial speech, you're just fishing.
Yeah, you're waiting for and this is again, non-mention means anti-mention. This is non-mention suddenly means he's anti-religious. No, he's just not expressing his religion. There's a big difference. People don't get that difference. People don't understand that there's a qualitative difference between not mentioning it and being like, yeah, well, be thankful. And also your God sucks my balls. Like there's a total difference in those statements.
I read this and I didn't gather from his speech that he's anti-grizzly bears.
Right.
Just because he didn't mention grizzly bears. Right. I presume that President Obama is at the very least neutral on the subject of grizzly bears.
We hope. Yeah, for the grizzly bear lobby that's out there that could be influencing him.
The criticism in the article, it's President Obama told the nation in the address that if they support each other and look out for each other and remember that we're all in this together, then I know that we too will overcome the challenges of our time. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Yeah, it's this is outrage for the purpose of being outraged. I mean, they should have the Wiccans all be up in arms because he didn't mention Mother Earth.
Yeah, right. This is we didn't give thanks to Gaia, right? That's the
And the Hindus should be mad because they didn't mention one of their million gods or whatever, or any of their million gods.